Hi, welcome to the Hackaday gathering at Heatsync Labs in Mesa, Arizona. Most of the people are already inside eating pizza. Just wanted to show you what it looked like from the outside, and the fact that pretty soon you're going to be able to drive or take the light rail right here to this hackerspace in Mesa. You get on the light rail anywhere in Phoenix and bring it right to the front door. And as you can see, it's being installed. So let's get a little closer to the hackerspace and talk about the big prize, and then go in and see some people. Okay, so we're at the entrance to Heatsync Labs, and this is where they show off all the cool stuff that people build. I have a few items here in myself. If you're ever here in Mesa, you can come by and you can just look at the window. If there's people here, you can go inside and join in all the fun hacking. Now, if you're a hacker or you want to be a hacker, you can go to space. Yes, Hackaday is sending somebody to space. What you have to do is you have to submit your idea, your build, share your material at hackaday.io/prize, and if it is chosen as the grand prize, you are going to go to space. Imagine going to space for just building something. That is so cool. But if you don't have the equipment to build this stuff, if you don't have the laser cutters and the 3D printers and electronics, oscilloscopes, and soldering equipment, you can find a hackerspace like Heatsync Labs in your community. They're all over the country, they're all over the world. Join up at a local hackerspace. And inside, they'll gladly have you build whatever it is you got for your idea. They could even have people there that might help you out with your idea. You submit it for that prize, and even if you're not chosen for the prize, you could still win a lot of other prizes. As the project is going along, some people are going to win things just as you're building things. You don't actually have to get all the way to the end. So join even if you don't think your idea might be a winning prize. But who knows? You might be the winning prize. You might go to space. How cool! How cool! You can't get better than that. So hackerspaces can help you get there. There are a few things you want to know. You can get all the details at that link. There'll be a link in the show notes for this video, as well as the Hackaday post for this. There isn't too many actual hard rules. One is you have to build something. You can't just be an idea. You can't just say, "Hey, here's my idea." You got to build something. The second thing, it has to be some type of connected technology. You want electronics and it's connected to something else. And it's kind of the sky's the limit what, but it does have to be connected. That is kind of a requirement. And third, it should be open as possible. Share your schematics, your building materials, your software, share everything. Post it all up on GitHub or wherever you want to. Link to it in your posting at hackaday.io. And so that all that material is available. Now, if you want to keep some secret sauce, that's fine. You can keep some secret sauce. But mind you, the whole point of the Hackaday prize is to get as much open material out there as possible. Open source hardware, open source software and hardware, so that other people can have information and build things, so that everyone can do cool things. And that's kind of the real gist behind this project, or this prize. And if you share everything, you're going to have a lot better chance at winning that trip to space. So just keep that in mind. But if you can't, fine, you'll probably get one of the other prizes most likely on the way. So let's go inside and visit some of the people that are already building stuff, and let's maybe interview some people and see what they're building, and hopefully have a good time. Come on in. I've got 3. What are you printing?
I'm printing some buttons for this key-fob that I'm making. So here's the chassis for the key-fob. I have some electronics that go in here, and the button assembly will go in here. I'm using flexible PLA so that the buttons will have a little bit of a gummy feel, so that it feels more natural to lock and unlock your car.
And so that's got the flexible stuff in it right now.
Correct. It's printing flexible black glue.
Jasmine has a few more parts of her key-fob deal. Go ahead, Jasmine.
Yeah, so this is the part that actually goes in the car, and the one that I'm working on now is actually a subset of it for a friend's car that doesn't need the enhanced functionality, but this full version has a low-power 2.5 gigahertz network. It's 1 milliwatt, so it's meant for in-car peripheral devices. It's got a 1 watt amplifier on this 915 megahertz radio, so this is for long-distance communication between, say, your house or something that you keep in your purse at all times, even when you're wandering around the mall. I use it to link between my house and my car, so I can download information and relay packets through this over to my house. The idea is that you can take these little boards that have the same 2.5 gigahertz radio in them, and you can interface them with all sorts of parts of your car. You can have like a GPS node. You can have a heads-up display node that receives packets from the GPS node. You can command. You can have like command all of these things from the internet, as long as it's linked to, say, your house, which has a repeater in it that's broadcasting to this radio. That part's right here. It's a little USB dongle. So this can broadcast packets to this while this is my house, this is my car. I also have an interface with my watch. This is a Texas Instruments CC430 watch, and it has car mode on it. So I can actually lock and unlock my car and do a remote start and a remote kill with my watch. But my friend didn't want a watch. She thought, well, I want to wear my own watch. I have a watch I like, so I want a key-fob instead. So that's why I'm working on the key-fob system. Yeah, it's designed to be a whole car telemetry system, uplinks and downlinks on short range and long range.
What's the long range?
It's 1 watt at 915, so line of sight is several kilometers.
Is this something you're building for the Haptic price?
No, this is something I've been building just because I wanted a remote start on my car. I wanted to be able to start my car from my office at work, so that by the time I got out there, it was nice and cool in the summer.
Is it all open source? Are you sharing it?
It's all open source. Navarnex.com is my wiki, and I have this pretty heavily documented source code is out there.
We'll put a link down in the show notes. That's okay. We'll link to it in the show notes. So if you didn't get that, you can check out our stuff.
Originally, I wanted to make some LED ring flashes. So this is version 1. These are $1 a piece NTE Radio Shack high brightness white LEDs. High brightness is a relative term. These actually aren't that. They're not bright enough for what I wanted. So this is version 1. Version 2 uses Cree LEDs. They're not the stereotypical the XLM, not the crazy bright, but they're still pretty bright. 80 milliamps each. I spun a board that has 10 constant current output channels on it, so it runs the 10 strings of LEDs. There's a standby or a focusing brightness, so that you can see through the lens like at night if you're trying to take pictures of bugs or flowers. And then there's the high brightness for the I have interacted with a button, but you can also interact with the camera flash pen, and it does the high brightness pulse for taking pictures of things. This turns out to work really well for video because it's steady state brightness, but it's still not bright enough to do really serious macro work. It's bright, but not quite bright enough. So then I moved to a completely different approach, where I took disposable camera optics, and these were from the garbage at Walmart. So these are chunks off of disposable cameras that have already been developed and used at Walmart. I 3D printed a battery holder, I 3D printed the mount for that, and I piggybacked just an SCR and a level shifting transistor on here so that I can trigger it with my camera's X-Sync connector. And this is 1 brightness. It's just full power always. So I have these bits of paper that I've stuck over to absorb the brightness, but I'm working on a control circuit which uses IGBTs to adjust the length of the pulse so that you can dial the flash down a little bit when your battery doesn't die. So you can 3D print a hot shoe interface mount. On this one, that's what I did. I have a hot shoe interface for the electronics here.
That's the hot shoe 3D printed. Get it? That's so cool. You work on so many cool things.
Thanks. And this one's still a work in progress. I'm trying to get the ability to lower the flash power. So we get really close to things. A little bit of light goes a long way. If you back up a little, suddenly it's not enough. So you really do need I 3D printed a camera bracket for my Quadcopter, and that's on
What part of this is what you did?
So this bracket here that attaches this keychain camera I got on eBay, that little 3D printed bracket.
But the rest of this is just a Quadcopter.
The rest of it is just off the shelf.
Standard off the shelf thing. And why did you want that?
That's a camera. It doesn't come with a camera. I wanted a camera, so here's
that's a camera. I was going to say, I don't see a camera, but yeah, there's a camera there. Yeah. That's so tiny.
And I've got a transmitter. I'm working on a first-person view transmitter, so I'll be able to see the video.
Are you really? And you can just mount this to any type of off-the-shelf quadcopter.
Correct. And that 3D printed bracket, you can just slightly modify it. It's about 10 minutes.
Currently stored on a mini SD?
It has a micro SD.
So you don't have to wirelessly transfer.
Correct. But I want to be able to fly it.
You want a first-person view?
I want first-person view so that I can fly it around.
With your phone? Or just a heads-up camera?
Maybe I don't care. As long as I can see what it's seeing so that when I'm filming things, I know how to compose better. That's really what I'm interested in. Well, so I was working on it's kind of a joke, mounting this little egg and this laser pointer to the quadcopter, and I have a text-to-speech converter board at home, and I wanted it to be a mobile disco, so it would sing and make little music, and then 3D print a little mount so it rotates and then shines the laser, and it can just go down Main Street.
You can have your own little disco party right over your head.
Yeah, exactly. No matter where you put it, it's instantly a party, right?
You're going to walk along and just have your own disco party.
That's the idea, yeah.
You got to do that. That's
completely pointless, but entirely too much fun.
Especially if you dance under it as you go.
Sure, you have to. Found that at Walmart and thought it would work really well. But it weighs a lot, so I was going to cut a DVD on the laser. So instead of glass, if I cut a DVD and use those mirrors, that wasn't weight significantly less than the glass. This weighs like 20 grams.
And it's
still extremely reflective. Yeah, it's just like if I cut CDs and DVDs, I can make a bigger disco ball.
And this is just the controller for your quadcopter?
Yeah, this is the controller. I hacked it to put an SMA on it, and I have a second one that I'm hacking to put one of these wireless boards into it so that I can design my own quadcopter with its own protocol that will connect through digital packets. It'll be piggybackable onto this system, but I'll use it to control the quadcopter, and I'll use it to get telemetry back from the quadcopter. So it'll be in line with the whole car idea, where it has a high power link that is used for interface with the components on the copter. That's still in development.
Well, the spy agency has to hire you. MI6 needs to hire you.
Then I couldn't share stuff with the world.
No. But then you'd make that happen. Okay, this is Addie from Tymkrs, and she has the Heart Me, which is an awesome little thing she's going to talk about.
Yeah, so, sorry, this particular one happens to be a little beat up because it's the one I carry in my purse. But it is an anatomically correct heart, and it was my first electronics project. I'm a cardiovascular surgery nurse during the day and electronics tinker by night. And so what this does is it's a parallax propeller microcontroller, and it shows the electrical pathway of different rhythms through the heart. So this happens to be normal sinus rhythm, and then with this switch I can go through a whole bunch of different ones. So that one happens to be sinus tachycardia, atrial fibrillation,
Or say it loud.
atrial flutter, and then we have some ones that aren't so friendly. But this one connects into another board that I'm working with that will simulate auscultation, which is what you would hear if you listened to a person with a stethoscope, and it also simulates palpation, which is what you would feel if you felt the pulse of somebody who was having a particular rhythm.
And you'd feel that just by touching the device.
Yeah, well, not this particular thing, but the board that I'm working
board
on.
you hook it up to, but that's not on Tinder. This is on Tindy though, right?
Yeah, this one's on Tindy, tindie.com/stores/TYNKRS. And then we have a lot of our kits there. We have like audio kits, like filters and such. And then one of our other projects, my other projects, because I like the human body, I'm a nurse, you know, and it's called Drink Me, and it's like a breathalyzer. So at first it was going to be Liver Me, but the liver's like really ugly. So I just thought I'd make it look like a wine bottle.
Right.
And it has LEDs up the side, and so when you blow through it, depending on how drunk you are, you know, the LEDs will...
Does the Drink Me have a digital display on it to show? It's just a...
It's just LEDs.
LEDs, right. And if it goes a certain color, you know you can't drive.
If it goes to a certain level, well, I'll put it this way: it should probably be used for fun. Yeah, if you light up any of the lights, don't drive.
Don't drive.
Get a designated driver.
Can it be made with a necklace? Like this can be made with a necklace.
Yes, it can.
It does with a
It can be
necklace.
like it's got a key fob.
So
sort of
a Drink Me breathalyzer test with a key. I got to get that. I actually got this. I actually bought this a long time ago for my sister. My sister's a nurse at a heart hospital actually, and I gave it to her for Christmas, and she tripped. I'd never seen my sister trip so much before. She works in a heart hospital, and just blew her away. And I got it with a gold chain put on her neck, and she wears it to the hospital and shows it. Yeah, and she shows it to the doctors and the nurses. They trip. And one of the big things is you're going to be able to do the pulse thing, but you're going to work on an audio output as well, right?
Yeah, so it simulates whatever, as if you were listening to a stethoscope.
Right. And I'm really waiting for that because my sister wants to have that add-on. You'll basically plug it in, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you plug it in, and then you put on like earplugs, like a stethoscope, and then as you go through the patterns, you hear what the bad rhythm sounds like.
Yeah.
And you know, my sister, she can't wait for that. So if you know a nurse, this is the best thing.
Yep.
And then you know the drink me, that's great. So okay, Addie, thanks a lot, and love your stuff. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Hackaday.
This was cut on the laser cutter.
Have this file.
Sharks with freaking lasers on their head.
It's an SVG file.
Okay, Moheeb here has something he'd like to show you and talk about. He didn't make it, but he's going to tell you all about it. This is so cool.
So there's a designer on Tymkrs that a lot of people know, Emmett. He designed this, and it prints in one piece, and when it pulls off the bed, it does this. And the way it's done, it's a really awesome technique you can do with 3D printing that just isn't done enough these days, is if you do just the right kind of gap between stuff, you can have it print together in line, but it can still move. Yeah, I've got another example of something like that. So this is another design I didn't make. This is a key-fob for like a guitar to compress the strings. But right here, it prints like this, upright, but there's just enough of the gap for that the hinge that it can just open up.
So you don't snap it together, it just prints like that.
Exactly. And I have a file on Tymkrs I designed. It was supposed to be adult glasses that print together, and the hinges are pretty attached. You don't need to snap anything together, except that they ended up really small, so they're kids' glasses. But yeah, by just having just enough of a gap, and if you have a printer with really good tolerances, you can do a number of different things where you print something and it can move right off the bat, which is one of the advantages of 3D printing over machining.
So now, you have this on the stuff you make on Tymkrs?
Yeah, so if you look up Virgil Vox.
Virgil Vox?
Virgil Vox, VIRGILVOX on Tymkrs, you'll find some of my stuff. And Emmett is the other really awesome designer to look up.
Okay, so we'll try and put links below on that too. What I think would be cool about this is I want to see this in a room like this with motion sensor, and as you come in, it opens up and starts to get brighter and brighter, and as you get closer, it comes wide open. That's what I want to see.
We'll have it by next week.
Thank you. Okay, this is Erica, and she's here making a Minty Boost, and we're going to let her tell you about what she's doing.
So I'm leaving on a trip tomorrow. I need to charge my phone, and I want to make sure I can charge it on the go. So I'm actually making this Minty Boost kit, which basically allows you to put a battery pack inside of an Altoids tin. I chose this cool Dragon tin instead, and I can basically charge my phone on the go with this setup.
Have you ever made anything with an electronics kit before?
No, this is actually what I thought would be a great introduction into electronics, because the kit was pre-set up for me, it's pre-labeled on the board, and I've got instructions I can follow.
Cool. Now, you said earlier you graduated here already?
Yes.
And your job now currently is what?
I currently am a technician at a high school.
Okay.
And I will be teaching the students in the fall 3D modeling for a 3D printer. It's a 3D prototyping class.
So you don't normally come to Heatsync Labs, right?
I don't. I actually came because I had a project that was a little bit out of my scope of knowledge, and I thought if I ran into an issue, it'd be nice to have someone that I can ask for a question.
And has anyone helped you, or have you been okay on your own so far?
Actually, so far I've been good. I've just needed to ask where are the tools, since that's my first time here. Right?
How about running the solder iron? You like these?
Yeah,
Are they the best or what?
I brought my own, but apparently mine is nothing compared to what they have here, so they told me to just go ahead and use what they have.
Some of the tools here are just great. I'm going to show the case again.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the case. That's pretty slick. That'll be me. Don't go on an airplane with it. That's not true.
I was like, I hope not, because that's what I was planning on going.
I actually have taken mine on an airplane.
Okay,
I had no problems whatsoever. Show them your tool case. This is really cool. This is what she carries around. This is her mobile tool case.
Yeah, so found this guy, and I guess what we call it, a safety deposit box?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, or a money change box.
Yeah, so I used it to carry my tools.
It ain't much, but it's a start.
Hey, it gets the work done. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Okay, we're with Moheeb Zara, and he does 3D printing. And this is the infamous not a bomb box. If you saw that post a long time ago about there being a bomb at ASU, if you can see, this is the actual content. It has a ball in here and a wireless charger. Essentially, he printed the case and stuff like that. But that's not what he's going to go over. He's not going to go over his not a bomb. He's going to cover his 3D modeling and stuff like that. So take it away.
Alright, so a while back you might have seen the Hackday post about OpenScan, which is a 3D body scanner that I put together from scratch. A while back I actually went down to the Tucson Sculpture Festival for their opening. We scanned 45 people, and you can see here we got the rotating platform and the linear gantry. It's all foldable. It's all automated. It's got limit switches and some intelligence, so it goes up and down by itself and rotates. I've even got a GUI for controlling it, and it all folds up and it can take it anywhere. And it's all laser cut and 3D printed parts. And so we did 45 scans, and then we took the best scans, and Carl from ZeroCraft, another hackerspace in Arizona, sent it over to Metal Physics Foundry, and they had it machined out of styrofoam, life size. So there's pictures right there. And I've got some small samples here. So this was a costumer who had like a fairy costume in it, and I was actually really impressed that I was able to get the thin features in the clothing and the wings. These are two full color prints that I got done through Sculptio. This is another cosplayer. She's dressed as Ceres Victoria from Helsing. And this is my little sister.
What was this printed on?
I believe it was a Z-Corp machine, so it was a powder printed process, all full color.
And these are on a regular MakerBot?
Yeah, that was done on my MakerBot replicator too. So, see with this one, a lot of fine detail. And the nice thing is it keeps the whole scan steady, and that's why I'm able to get the really good color profile. You don't really get that when you walk around with the sensor.
How do you get the color on these?
So they print it, with the Z-Corp printer has this ability to print with 300 dpi resolution. So just like a regular printer, as they lay out the powder for each layer, it also drops in ink.
So as it goes, it can drop the ink in as it goes.
Yeah, each layer.
And then you have two other things over here. What are those?
Yeah, so these, this was for a class project. It was pretty last minute. I actually put this together in a day. It broke apart, but these were connected together, and there's a USB cable here. And both of these drumsticks, at the bottom of them, have haptic motors. And so the idea is using Maximus P, which is a visual programming system for doing audio control and interactive audio and video stuff. I have these two sticks tracked by Leap Motion. That's why they got the plus signs, because Leap Motion needs multiple tracking points. And so this one, when you hit it in different zones, it'll vibrate. So if you were blind, you could find out where the tones were in the virtual space. And when you hit those tones, you use this stick to modulate it, and so you can modulate the frequency. So it's like haptic musical eardrums.
That's fascinating.
I call them modem sticks.
And you actually had it working, right?
Yeah, it was working before it broke.
That's cool. Okay, thank you. Moheeb Zara again, and he's going to show someone else's project because they're not here, but it's really interesting. Moheeb?
So one of our members, Matt Shepard, has been, he built this all from scratch. It's a plotter, so it's an XYZ plotter, or XY plotter, sorry. And the way it works is you have these two steppers, and based on how they move, it can go X and go Y. So if you run both of them a certain way, they'll go up and down. And he, even using 3D printing and laser cutting, he created this mechanism to bring a whiteboard marker up and down, and it'll plot on this whiteboard material, which I think is just MDF with a certain paint. And if you get around from the back, you can see it's got like almost like a swash arm that brings it up and down. He's had actually a couple of other iterations of it, where he had like a rack and pinion. So he laser cut the rack of the gear, glued it to the marker and then had it in a housing with the servo that had the pinion gear, and then just like ran it up and down.
But this was easier for this mod right here.
Yeah, it gets him. It makes it a little more stronger. The other one was nice because he could do it with a really small servo, but with this, it gets a little more strength out of it. And I think his goal is to put different attachments on here so you can kind of hot swap it and make it do something completely different, because it's a really low cost, easy to build XY plotter system. He's been working on different drawbots for a while, so he had one with the whole pulley system. They did one a while back for a hackathon using open builds parts and a little robot moving, but that was out of wackiness and time constraints. So,
is any of this posted anywhere we can link to?
I'm not aware that it is yet. I think once he finishes, he's intending to do a blog post and write up and upload all the files.
Okay, so we might see more of this. Now this is cheap components, though. This is some aluminum and some rails and a couple of stepper motors, and away you go, right?
Yep. So like you can run an Arduino with 2-stepper controllers, 2-stepper motors. Maybe like $20–30 worth of belts, some aluminum and a board and a whiteboard and a marker.
And you can just download an image of somebody, and it might be able to kind of figure out how to move the pen up and down and around and do just like Etch-a-Sketch, but on a whiteboard.
Exactly. So it does work in a way, just like an Etch-a-Sketch.
You could actually convert this to an Etch-a-Sketch panel. Right?
Exactly.
Easy, really super.
And what I think, once he gets it done, I'm gonna bug him and sit down with him and try to get it to write out tweets and constantly change or add some information.
Okay. Then if it's going to do tweets, have another servo here with an eraser, so it can put the eraser down and erase everything, and then write the next tweet.
Exactly.
Right. Why not?
You're gonna get so much D.
Okay. Well then, that's that project. Thanks. Okay, we're here with Jacques, and Jacques is working on his own propeller-assisted 6502 computer thing. He's going to tell you about it and show you some demos. So Jacques, let's hear it.
Yeah, I call it a software-defined 6502 computer, which means that the 6502 thinks that it's inside a computer, and the computer is completely defined by the software that runs on the propeller. The propeller generates the video. You can connect an NTSC or a PAL monitor, or you can connect a VGA monitor. You can connect the PS2 keyboard. This is the 6502. This is the propeller. There's some blue logic there. I have it set up right now to emulate an Apple I, but it's not really working. It's showing some garbage on the screen. The circuit board is a work in progress. There's some LEDs botched on. The LEDs are going to be down there. This is the circuit board design that's going to be a kit probably in June. And people are going to be able to buy this on Tindy.
On Tindy, you sold on Tindy?
Yes.
Now, this is open source hardware, so you're going to post that all too?
Yes.
I see the open source hardware symbol.
Yes, it's all open source. It's all up on key-fob.com. And I also have a website called propeddle.com.
Let's see it. It's a propeddle. So propeddle is a combination between propeller and
Chuck Peddle, one of the main engineers who designed the 6502 processor.
And so that's the play on the name. That's pretty cool.
That's right.
Now, the job of the propeller is to simply download into essentially the simulated computer code into the 6502.
That's right. The 6502 has an address bus and a data bus, and the propeller is connected to those buses and also to like the interrupt lines and reset lines, stuff like that. And it pretty much does whatever a normal computer would do to a 6502 to make it into a computer. So I can make this into an old Apple I computer, PET 2001, any of those old computers that aren't too complicated with the hardware, especially video hardware. But you can design your own computer too. Make your own computer, make it up from scratch.
I know you do. And so what's this over here?
That's a wire wrap version of the propeddle project that I made a couple of weeks ago.
So this was your original design, and this then becomes your final design.
Well, actually, I've been working on the project for about 3 years. I just thought it would be fun to make a wire wrap version.
That's a wire wrap version of it. That's wild. That's a lot of work. What's this dev board you're on?
This is the Parallax USB propeddle. Okay, you can just buy this like this, and all that's on there is the chips that are on top here. So it's got the propeller, it's got a power supply, it's got the USB chip and the USB connector, and all these chips I put on there myself with wire wrap sockets, and then it's a matter of wrapping all the wires the way it's supposed to be wrapped.
Okay.
And this is a standard human interface board by Parallax, and I made a little board in between because all the devices that are on here, for example, a PS2 connector and a VGA connector.
So I guess it printed as separate pieces.
Different pins that I would like to be.
Okay, well, that's Jacques and his computer that we have on Tindy Soon, and it's propeddle.com.
Move it carefully on different parts and other parts of the.
Okay, this is Eric Ossie, and he has a little laser project he worked on tonight. Have a look, Eric. Go ahead.
So this little project is it's a ghetto perma proto board, and it's basically the file from Fritzing, the SVG file cut on the laser cutter. So I can take my breadboarded projects and then just solder them on the back like it's an actual breadboard, but it's not. The idea is that I want to be able to make cheap projects for lots of kids when I go do library events, and I want to get that price point way down, so I tested it out and it works pretty good. Changed the file a little bit and I'll try it again later. The holes are a little bigger than they need to be, I think. I could use thinner material, but so far I like it. There's plenty of scrap, and that's why I was trying this particular.
And so there's holes all the way through for through hole. And it mimics the breadboard and the layout of the breadboard, and there you go. You can print your own. Is their file going to be available anywhere that people can download and use?
Yeah, on azrobotambassador.com. I'll post it there. azrobotambassador.com, since I'm the robot ambassador.
azrobotambassador.com. Okay, that'd be a great place, and then people can get that, and if they have a laser, or they can come here to this hackerspace that has a laser, they can cut their own. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.